Johnson, Dalglish. Wide on the right, Case. Found himself a lot of space out here. And Hilaire is spending a lot of his time covering. But to no avail there as Dalglish scores the first goal of the season for Liverpool from the cross. It's been coming, and when Neil turned that one in, Dalglish threw himself to the header, and there was nothing Barron could do about that. Alan Kennedy missing out midfield, looking for Dalglish and finding him well. Firm tackle by Smiley. Alan's pass cut out by Neil. Case. Dermot giving them width on the right now as Case goes inside. Ray Kennedy coming round onto his right foot and scoring. So that's now 2-0, and Crystal Palace are in real trouble here. The champions in championship mood. Case's run infield. Ray Kennedy coming over onto that unfamiliar right foot, but showing that he knows how to use it, and making the score 2-0. Ray Kennedy, Johnson, Alan Kennedy, again, and he scores! Once again, Alan Kennedy gets the reward for not giving up. He just kept going there, and he was not going to be put off. He's gone past 3 challenges there, and what a cracking left foot he found at the end of it.
Spurs took the lead in the 8th minute. Garth Crooks carrying on from where he'd left off against Nottingham Forest last weekend. From the corner on the right, Crook gets above Tottenham to score a fine goal. By the 20th minute, he'd seemingly put the match beyond Palace's reach. A nice layoff from Steve Archibald, and Crooks's 3rd goal in only 2 games explains why Spurs fans believe their lean years may now be over. The fans couldn't have wished for better entertainment, but by the end of the night there was ample evidence that both managers have their defensive problems. Here Smiley breaks on the right, the centre finds Hilaire, he makes space, and although there's a deflection, he took the goal well. Spurs quickly restored the 2-goal margin. Archibald again involved in the build-up, and this was vintage Glenn Hoddle. The goal almost an actual replay of a number of his efforts last season. But still, Palace didn't give up. Great perseverance here from young Neil Smiley. He makes the opening, and that's a fine opportunist effort. But that was the cue for the other half of Spurs' expensive striking duo, Steve Archibald, to get in on the act. Watch the tremendous acceleration and the perfect finish, his first goal for Spurs. Palace responded with this chip from skipper Jim Cannon, but that was where the scoring ended, 4-3 to Spurs.
So it'll be Gilbert to take the free kick for Crystal Palace. Here's Hilaire. Decides it was quite legitimate. Awkward bounce here for Jones and Dyson, and Allen is in on this. He's right in on it, and what a fine finish. So Clive Allen takes his tally to 5 goals for Crystal Palace. and precisely the type of finishing that made first Arsenal, but then Crystal Palace more permanently fancy signing him. The bounce was awkward for the two central defenders, but once Allen got a sniff there, he hung on to the ball and made no mistake with that firm shot. Daly to Dyson. Hunt. Here's Daly. Good running by Brian Roberts. Thompson. Daly! And within a couple of minutes, Coventry are level. The build-up seemed to be taking a long time, but then Brian Roberts made a good run from left back. Gary Thompson unsettled the defenders when the cross came in, and Jerry Daly's finishing, something for which he was noted at Manchester United. Thompson to English. Now it's Hunt. Blocked by Cannon. Here's Blair. Coop again. And Palace come out for the offside again. And Dyson goes on himself. That's adventurous play by the centre-half. Four in the middle, and English nearly made it. It was a fine cross by Dyson. And now it's Hunt. Daly chasing. That's Gilbert. Oh, and Daly! And a dreadful mistake by Billy Gilbert gave his goalkeeper no chance. And Jerry Daly has scored twice for Coventry in a matter of minutes and begun, I'm sure, a love affair with the home crowd. Poor Billy Gilbert being consoled by Paul Barron, because as the ball bounced there, he was favourite to knock the ball back. But as he did so, he didn't knock it hard enough, and Jerry Daly went in and made it 2-1. So a totally different match now in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. 3 goals, plenty of incident, and the home side, having been a goal down, are now 2-1 up. Nicely done by Allen. Here's Murphy. That's a free kick. Palace right on the edge of the area. Mick Cooper judged to have fouled Jerry Murphy. Oh, what a tremendous shot by Allen, and the ball came back off the woodwork, and Palace appealed for a goal. Surrounded the referee, saying it was in, and here's an incident. Clive Allen hammered that, and it came back off the woodwork. Palace say it was over the line, and the referee is going to have to consult the linesman. Was the ball in the net, or rather was it over the goal line? Jim Cannon leads the protests. The referee, Derek Webb, has to consult his linesman about that, whether the ball went into the goal or not. Allen hammered it from the free kick. It was his shot. And the referee says no goal. Well, there's a talking point. Clive Allen can't believe it. The game has to go on. And Palace continue to pursue the referee. And Vince Hilaire, who was sent off for pushing the referee in a recent match, had a word with him there as he ran across, and indeed I thought I saw one Palace player maybe even lay a hand on the referee when the first fierce protests came in. Now the other linesman is being consulted. What does he say? He's talking about where the ball finished up, actually, not about the next goal. It's a throw-in, he says. And still Hilaire continues the protest, which is unwise to do. Palace think they've got an equaliser here, and the referee has said no. Roberts. English. Again, swept wide to Bodak. Coventry have got 5 players in the centre. That's Thompson. English going in. Oh, we got a jab on it. Blair! Andy Blair, the scorer. But great credit to Coventry for the way they built that attack. The play went wide, it came back across. Thompson involved. And English making something out of nothing there. He turned with the ball on the defender, jabbed it across the face of the goal, and Blair finished things off.
Mills, Mariner, Brazil's there, walks there again, and Ipswich are in the lead. So Paul Barron beaten. Sadly for Palace, that's the 15th time this season they've conceded a goal. And Walk is the scorer. His 5th goal of the season, this one for Ipswich. Brazil, very unselfish, but it wasn't a particularly good pass, and it comes off Barron, who'd come plunging out of his goal quite rightly. Allen wanting it short, getting it. Quick turn. And a back heel that went wide of Francis. Here's Fenwick though. Hilaire. A little chip coming in. Allen on the far side. Bounced just a little too high for him. The ball's gone way over that wooden fence to where the big supermarket's being built. There's the ball. But I gather there is an arrangement that allows a ball boy to be there somewhere. Scored the only goal of the game in the first half. Brazil touching it for Mariner. Now for Gates. Oh, Gates. And that's number 2. Beautifully taken by Eric Gates. And that really will kill off anything that Palace can offer. Suddenly it all came clear here for Eric Gates as he went wide of the last Palace defender. Right foot, cracking shot there, just in under the crossbar. Fenwick. Played in there for Allen. Oh, a chance now, and saved well by Cooper, and he couldn't get a second go at it. But suddenly, Clive Allen looked to be in a good scoring position there, and it was a fine piece of keeping by Paul Cooper. Leaping up there, but he couldn't get high enough. Smiley looking for something on the turn. And a goal by Lovell! Well, that's his first goal, and it probably has come too late. The question really was as to whether Clive Allen, I think it would have been in front of him, would have been in an offside position, but it was a fair old scramble there. Smiley's shot. The ball whacked into the back of the net. It's a corner. Here's Barnes with it. Curled in there, Fenwick making no mistake that time. Certainly Albion have had the better chances. One missed by Moses and one missed there by Regis. What's the message for them at half-time, Ron?
Well, I think we've got to tighten up at the back. We've certainly got to tighten up in midfield. And we've got to keep playing into our forward players, because every time, I mean, we've just seen there when Cyril Regis has missed that chance, which has got to be as easy a chance as we've had this season, off Statham's cross. If we do that and we play sensible, I could fancy us to win this game. But if we don't, I mean, they're busy and bright and they've got good inventive ideas up front. We have to be very, very careful of that. This fella's got to pull his finger out as well.
With Peter Barnes.
Yes.
And Moses doing a lot of work again for you.
He's working very, very hard. He missed a good chance early on, but I'd just like to see him win a few more tackles. That's his game, winning tackles and putting people under pressure, and he hasn't won as many as we expect him to. He's let Francis out a little bit.
Give it. Okay, Ron, thanks a lot. Played nicely there into space for Batson. Brown is waiting in there as well. And Gilbert hasn't been able to stop them now. Can Batson cross that in again? He can. It's a good one. Regis! Ron Atkinson off the bench, because Regis knows that he might have had a hat-trick. And at the fourth attempt, he's got it. Back on their seats again there. But it was Batson with this beautiful cross here. Regis up, powerful header, and there was nothing that Barron could do about it.
Fennick. It's a cross in. Cummins. Brown. 1-0. Listen, there again with another chance. Good footwork from him. And a shot.
Penalty from Clive Allen gave Palace only their second victory of the season. They beat Leicester 2-1.
Ernie Whalley is now 47 years old, has been around the game a long time, was with the Tottenham push and run outfit, then to Arsenal, then to Crystal Palace, where he was manager both of the youth side and the reserve side, but now gets his chance in the big time. Paul Barron, who hasn't missed the game for Palace, nearly missed the League Cup match at Tottenham. It was reinstated when John Barry's didn't want to play. Allen got up high enough, but much too early. Cherry instantly played wide. Here's Graham. Greenough. That's nice into Flynn. Connor. Oh, fine goal. Really fine goal. The goal getting the applause that it deserves. Really good build-up. Graham Greenough, who played it nicely through to Flynn, who was able to feed Connor, who stuck it wide of Paul Barron's left hand. Really very, very well worked goal.
Ernie Whalley then sitting in the box with a man in the spectacles on the left there, the chairman Raymond Bloy, who this week has made him team manager to the end of the season. Cannon, good combination here. Walsh. This time Nicholas playing it on. Flanagan very active up there, being shadowed by Jovanovic though. Nicholas again. Lovell's gone free on the far side. Smiley's over there too. Hinchelwood supporting from the back. Here's Hinchelwood. Backward flick there. Cannon trying to make something of it. It might fall for Peter Nicholas. Trying to curl one. Oh, a brilliant goal! That's his first goal of the season. He saved a very special moment and a very special effort for it. Curling it beautifully, and that was a really definite effort on his part. That was the intention.
Crooks finally put Spurs in front in the 31st minute, taking Chris Hughton's pass at full tilt before rounding Barron and finding the target from that really narrow angle. But Palace hit back 7 minutes later. Vince Hilaire, back in the side after being dropped a fortnight ago, angles this shot for his 3rd goal of the season. Early in the second half, Crooks injured a leg, but far from going off, he became the central figure in a remarkable sequence of 4 goals in 10 minutes. First, he paved the way for Steve Archibald to put Spurs back in front. Then Crooks' second of the night, almost a carbon copy of his first, as he outwits Paul Barron once again. Seconds later, Palace were back in the match again. Another goal of real quality, this time from Ian Walsh. But within a minute, Crooks had the last word, completing the 3rd hat-trick of his career in resounding style. He's now scored 11 goals this season, 6 in 4 League and League Cup games against Palace. Archibald, meanwhile, has 10, so the battle to become Spurs' leading scorer is really hotting up.
So away we go then. Manchester City attacking the goal to our left in a change strip of red and black stripes. Crystal Palace in the white strip. And straight away, Steve McKenzie with a rifling shot and a chance for them to put him ahead. And they've scored through Kevin Reeves in 13 seconds. What a blow for Crystal Palace. What an amazing start there for Manchester City. And John Bond's words at the start about Kevin Reeves and Dave Bennett being the key man. Well, Kevin Reeves has put Manchester City ahead in 13 seconds. A tremendous break there. Steve McKenzie, who used to be a Crystal Palace player, left here when he was 17 for £250,000 without playing in the first team. The ball bounces off Paul Barron, and there's the job for Kevin Reeves to put City 1 goal into the lead. Dave Bennett. Ranson with the cross, Kevin Reeves with a header, and Gow coming in. Well, I certainly had the impression there was a handball along the way there, but Jerry Gow, the referee looked at the linesman, and Jerry Gow's goal will stand. Ball coming in here, flicked on by Kevin Reeves. There may have been a handball there, but obviously there wasn't, and Gow finished it off to put Manchester City 2 into the lead. Seeley, they've got a few white shirts forward now. Hinshelwood right in there, Seeley in there too. Played there for Walsh. A beautiful goal! Played forward here by Paul Hinshelwood. Just look at Seeley's part, a really well-timed run there. Just played on there for Ian Walsh, lashing it past Joe Corrigan. Seeley playing it there for Cannon, and again for Jim Cannon, the Palace skipper. This cross coming in for Seeley. Oh, a terrific goal by Tony Seeley, 2-2. And that's what you call a comeback. Cannon plays a superb ball in here, and Seeley hits it first time. No chance for Corrigan. It's a real up and down game. But here comes City again. McKenzie finding Hutchison, who's told Reeves to get on ahead of him. Still with Tommy Hutchison. His man well. And found Bennett. And now with Gow. Goal! Paul Barron distressed there because Gow's shot rifled underneath him. And he could only have seen that very, very late. Hutchison, who played such a big part in it, twisting and turning. Bennett, who then was able to get it back to Gow, and look at no chance for a keeper there. He saw it so very late.
In the match against Norwich, Hilaire had a brilliant afternoon. He was a constant source of trouble to the Norwich defence and had a hand in most of the Palace goals. And the cross, which should have been taken by Baker, was put into the net by Clive Allen, with Court to the side, and Palace were 1 up after just 19 minutes. It was Hilaire once again who began the move which led to the second goal. Seeley too played with great determination to battle down the wing. And this time the goal was scored by Murphy, and Palace were 2 up after 21 minutes. Justin Fashinu says he wants to leave Norwich and join a more glamorous club. He had a brilliant run down the wing, beating the full-back back before putting over the perfect cross to Joe Royle. 2-1 after 26 minutes. Palace were in adventurous mood. A skillful through ball left Seeley on his own, but he was barged off the ball as he looked certain to score. But Allen was there to make it 3-1. In the second half, Hilaire was still in superb form. It was his pass that led to a goal by Jerry Francis.
Coming back onto his right foot and clips that one well. Still Boyer beaten in the air. McKenzie tries the shot. Boyer was in fast, and the referee has given a penalty for an elbow on Boyer. Chance in the 10th minute of the second half to break the deadlock. Reeves against Fry. 1-0.
Jim Cannon, the Palace number 5, coming forward. He's just inside the Stoke City goal area for this corner. And the header by Boyle. And what a start for Crystal Palace. As the corner was floated over from the right, the Stoke defence were distracted by the presence of Cannon, and Boyle was completely unmarked. The major talking point in the first half, though, was the sending off of Stoke midfield player Paul Richardson. He first upset the referee with this tackle on Jerry Francis. So the yellow card for Richardson, and just before half-time, the same player sinned again. Watch here on the right of your screen as Francis plays the ball away. Richardson comes in late, and referee David Letts really had no option but to send Richardson off. Mr. Letts was a busy man. He also showed the yellow card 5 times. It'll reach Hampton. That's dangerous. Evans! Oh! Chapman under the rebound. But that shot from Evans was an absolute blockbuster and smashed the top of the crossbar and post. And Palace lucky to get away with it, but they might score at the other end with Seeley. Well, 10 seconds of action that's given us more excitement than anything that's gone before. So Malcolm Allison looked anxious as the game went into its closing stages, but he must have felt as we reached the final minute that both points were safe. So it looks now as though Palace might have held on. Ersom. But wait. Ooh, it could be an own goal, and it didn't have to be, because Doyle has made sure. And what a tragedy for Crystal Palace. Well, poor Terry Geno, who's played so well, a complete misunderstanding then with Billy Gilbert as the ball was floated in. It would have gone in anyway from Gilbert's header, but Doyle just made sure.
Tony Morley's cross headed home by Peter With after just 4 minutes. It was his 12th goal of the season. They strengthened their grip in the 70th minute. Terry Boyle's misjudgment falling perfectly for With's second. But a minute later, Vince Hilaire's free kick prodded home by Paul Hinshelwood to ensure a nervous end.
The manager to be least envied in the Football League. For Dario Gradi, the fourth man to be in charge of Crystal Palace this season, knows that from today he has just 11 matches to close an 8-point gap to safety. Nicholas and Alan not exactly together. Smiley. It's a bit short. And here's Isto. And he makes it pay. It wasn't a good ball by Smiley. And Isto ran on, placing it wide of Paul Barron and in off the post. Shot. Yes, he can. He can score. No, he can't. But Vince Hilaire puts it in. Good heavens. The ball hitting both posts. And it looked as though the luck was really out for Crystal Palace. But Vince Hilaire followed up. And Clive Allen taking the ball away from Billy Wright. He was nudged out of it. Finally got the shot in. Hit one post. Back off the other. Looked as though it was coming out. And Hilaire made sure it went back in. Dario Gradi on his left is Mike Kelly. And the ball field is number 2. The challenge didn't in fact work. Here's McMahon. Stumbled by Boyle. McMahon. Isto. Brilliantly off the line, but with what? Yes, a penalty. Lovell says his head, but Mr. Reid says hands. Isto's shot turned away. Lovell's name goes into the book. He thought that he'd pulled the referee, I think, but he didn't do so. But what a mix-up, with Boyle first losing it, and eventually Isto's shot turned away by a goalkeeper without jersey, Steve Lovell. It's going to be Trevor Ross who will take it. Shouldn't have been allowed because the ball was not properly on the spot. But anyway, when it was taken by Ross, he didn't really hit it very hard, and Barron got down. It went away from him for a second, but he grabbed it just in time, and Mr. Reeve was right there to see him do it. McMahon, come inside, he could have a crack. And that is a beautiful goal. It really was a lovely goal by Steve McMahon. It always looked that if he could come inside, he would certainly be able to have a crack. There was a moment when it seemed that Berardi was too close to him, but in the end, he hit a delightful shot, which ended up at the base of the stanchion. Place in the crowd, there's Arthur Rowe with the silver hair. Taken by Gibman. It doesn't quite reach O'Keefe, but it does now, and that will be a penalty. O'Keefe brought down by Lovell as he was trying to cross the ball. Lovell got the foot in, and although the angle was difficult, he was only ever going to be able to cross it. That is irrelevant in terms of the law. Changed the penalty kicker. This time it's going to be McMahon. Ross having failed in the first half. Oh, and he's missed it. But he scores a peach of a goal earlier, and then he misses from 12 yards quite extravagantly. And Paul Barron has faced 2 penalties, and neither has beaten him. And they can't quite believe it on the Everton bench. Wright is striding forward in rather corporal fashion. The only Everton player at the moment in the 6-yard box. Ross, found again by Gidman. His right is Eastoe. McMahon just to his right. This is Berardi! Oh, he took that very sharply indeed. Really did take the chance well, did Imi Berardi, and is obviously very pleased about it. Goes to talk to Steve McMahon, who was out on the right. Eastoe managed to get it the other way, and Berardi stuck it away with little delay and with great aplomb. This is Hinchwood. Oh, that's a good try on the goal. Oh, fairly classic that. But the goal is not going to stand. The flag was up for offside. It's unlucky for Hinchwood because he came one way and tucked it so sharply inside the post, but it doesn't matter. There was a player offside and the goal does not count. Hilaire. Brooks. Gilbert. Allen. Lovell. Brooks. It's Tony Seeley. And there has to be obstruction. No, it's not. It's adjudged to have been deliberate. Deliberate charge on the player. The Everton player's complaining. But it was so cold-bloodedly made that the referee said penalty. Allen takes the penalty and scores. So we've had 3 penalties and third time is lucky. Clive Allen scores it for Crystal Palace and gives them hope again of at least salvaging a point. Hanging on, that is, to the lead. Lovell, cleared off the line by Wright. Lovell hanging in the air to get the header, and it was Billy Wright who got it away with his thigh.
Gary Williams floating a good cross in there. Price has got to get up to it, but it was Gregory, and in the end it was Smith. Well, it hit a player about a yard outside the line, and Palace are looking so hard at the linesman, they must have felt there was an offside situation. Smith who side-footed that in there, and then it's flicked in though by Gregory. But Brighton still leading 1-0. Smith plays it in for Robinson across the goal there, no doubt about that one. Gregory. Oh, Palace were like statues in defence there. That went right across their 6-yard line, and John Gregory scores his 2nd goal of the game. And if there was an element of doubt about the first one, in terms of it being offside, just look at the way he was allowed to steal in at the far post there, and leading the charge as you would always expect. And here's Mike Robinson now. Plenty of support coming quickly out of defence here for Brighton. Gary Williams with the cross for them. And a flying header there! Well, Gordon Smith really hit that with all his neck muscles going. And that surely puts it beyond recall there.